Monday was Nigeria's independence, was the 1st of October. And second day, something really horrible happened in Lagos. Right about the stadium, I think, the bridge in front of the stadium, there was a tanker trying to climb the bridge. Something went wrong, and he fell over. The tanker fell over and then started to spill all the fuel in it all over the place. And before you know it, I don't know what the true story is. We've got a young man who was there, an eyewitness account, and we're going to play that during the break, who said he saw what happened. But the long and short of it was that nobody has the number, as usual, of people who were roasted to death at that spot, just the second day after Nigeria's 47th independence. I mean, you read the stories. Let me start with you, Helen. You read the story. What did you make of it?
Well, actually, I was not only read the story, my husband was in that traffic coming home. That day, they came home very, very, very late. And he said he was in that traffic, caught between two tankers himself. And he was even thinking, my goodness, if anything happens and these tankers and they explode, I'm going to be trapped in between. Right, and as the traffic moved forward, because they were in traffic, as the traffic now moved forward, he was told that what caused the traffic in the front was, well, he saw the degradation of the burnt tankers and the burnt people. So he was actually there.
He saw some of the burnt people?
Yes, he passed. Yes, he had to pass it through, you know. And, well, I just think that tankers should be allowed to ply the roads at such periods. They can be allowed to ply the roads at night or very early in the morning when there's less traffic. I mean, all hours of the night. First of all, they block roads. Everybody's trapped within the lane of the accident. You can't move out. Nobody can move.
Ijoma, you're a journalist. I mean, you must have a sense of how many times this kind of, because it seems to me that these things has happened over and over again. The one I remember well was in the 80s. Same Ikorodu Road. It actually burned 50 cars because there was one of those huge Ikorodu Road traffic, and it exploded, and 50 vehicles. Wow. I never forgot that report.
And not just about the tankers carrying fuel, it's about tankers carrying
all kinds of things.
All kinds of things.
Yes.
And sometimes it's not even about them. Sometimes they cause accidents by breaking down on the road.
That's
they have no reflectors.
That's right.
They have there's nothing. And then in the middle of the night, I mean, there was the one in the night is where one of the channels, some guy,
that's where he died, yes.
Who ran into, it has happened so many times, and it happens all the time. It's like one of those Nigerian things. What do we do? You know, and then it keeps happening over and over again. And one of, like you said,
we had this conversation before.
Yeah,
yes, I remember. I checked an article I wrote on the 3rd of October last year, and I was writing about, you know, it was the aviation trouble, the crash, and then I referred to an accident. Ijoma and I remember we were going to Ibadan, and we took a photograph.
And it was also a tanker that broke down, had fuel, exploded, killed people.
Wow.
So I mean, it's like, sometimes
what do you think can change?
It's like what she said is a simple solution.
Very simple.
Don't have them plying the roads in the daytime, because one, the roads are bad. Two, they
congested.
I mean, they are congested. The roads are bad. They are congested, and they are such a hazard. A simple thing like somebody revving a car beside them can lead to an explosion, which is possibly what happened.
There's another part of this report that I found instructive, and I wanted to bring to your notes. This is a report from PM News. PM News said, when PM News got to the Area C police station nearby to inform them about the incident last night, the DPO, who was livid with rage, barked at our reporters and told them to leave the station immediately. Our reporters were told to contact the PPRO about it. The area DPO said, what did we expect him to do? And when PM News challenged them, he said when the police barracks, which was beside them, was burning as a result of soldiers' attack some time ago, they could do nothing about it, let alone move 200 meters to combat tanker inferno. I'm with the policeman.
You know, I think this is the saddest thing.
It's the saddest thing, but it's the truth. What would you, because people were saying they didn't get there on time.
I mean, the fact that these trucks, first and foremost, they get on the roads and they're not even roadworthy. Most of them are not. They don't have brakes. They don't have this. And then, to make it worse, this is happening, and a policeman is saying this. Then tell me why you are there. Tell me what exactly you're doing.
Isn't the policeman speaking in frustration?
Yes.
I understand he's speaking in frustration, but he could have even at some point in time done something. mobilize policemen to go there and even divert people and divert. He could have, yes, it's frustrated. They don't have cars, they don't have trucks, they don't have anything to. That's one.
Do you remember that we've done a show? We had the PRO of the National Fire Service come here.
Yeah.
And say what?
Look, it was just like helpless.
Exactly.
We can't do anything. You know,
You
it
know,
was the most disheartening show.
That was one of the times we talked about fire service being paid 20 naira or something as allowance if you are injured.
Yeah, or if you die.
Yeah, if you
Wow.
die.
20
Yeah.
naira, yes.
Really?
I don't know if it has changed, but you know that was a couple.
My
of
dear, I
years
don't think it
ago.
has changed really because to be
So,
honest,
so
same
we're
thing.
looking at 3 different levels of problems. So number 1 are the tankers, the state of the tankers themselves. Number 2, the roads, the state of the roads, and the rules of engagement with the tanker drivers, the tankers. And then 3, there's the issue of even when an emergency like this occurs, we are not able to take care of it. Because what the young man who was there was saying to us was that actually it didn't catch fire immediately.
Yes.
You know, as you're saying, maybe if they had been police, because some civilians were trying to tell people not to go that way. Well, the motorists were refusing, and we were still going until one caught fire. So it didn't happen immediately. Perhaps the death
Would have been reduced
or
might not have-
preventable completely. So, I mean, beyond talking, what should we concretely be demanding for, asking for?
Okay, go
Sorry. Yeah. Well, beyond this is a government responsibility, and I believe that they should have rules for the tanker. Lagos is congested. It's just congested, and common sense dictates when you have hazardous chemicals or hazardous materials, you do not allow those hazardous materials to be plying the roads at times when there's heavy traffic. And Lagos, there's always heavy traffic. The only time there is not heavy traffic is, I believe, from 1 o'clock
from
till
12
at night.
Yes, from
5, so
12 to 5.
Yeah,
12
so-
to 5.
And if you put a law
And
like
it's-
that, automatically,
Yes,
they would
it
get
would-
their vehicles
yes,
and all that.
yes, and just not for tankers, for heavy goods vehicles that have some of them tip over and cause injury, and also
Should
they
they
cause.
even be climbing bridges like that?
I think they've stopped them from climbing Third Mainland. I remember at some point in time there was this law, even going into that Ilupeju, they said there's a sign there, no trucks and tankers, and I think that has worked. But sometimes you give 5 naira to the policeman or 10 naira. I see them passing.
Yeah.
Right.
Brings Corona side. The other day there was a truck that had tipped over. You know when you're turning, it didn't have a brake, good brake. It had tipped over to the other side and had hit the NEPA Nitel pole. It causes untold destruction, kills people, but also the fact that that place now they don't have whether Nitel or they don't have NEPA.
Yeah.
So-
Nobody